Welcome, Grenada, Carrico, Pidimonic, and the rest of the world. It's another night. It's another Friday. It's another weekend, and we're happy to be with you to talk to you about what's making the news. Of course, we're not going to keep you too long. It's Friday. We know that you may have some plans for yourself this Friday, and so we're going to tell you briefly what's happening with regard to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Trinidad and Tobago, the wider Caribbean, St. Lucia, Grenada in particular. Of course, we are here in the Spice Isle of the Caribbean, Grenada. And so let's take a look at what's making the headlines for tonight. Supreme Court Registry will not be closed, contrary to recent reports, says the government. Akim Andrews' sentencing, we're going to tell you about that. Yes. We were waiting to see what was going to happen with that case, so we have that information. Probably he's looking at Mikey live now. Men plead guilty to drug charges, and Grenada's COVID-19 and public health threat level raised to high. Caribbean on high alert for deadly COVID-19, and Trinidad saving a young child in Trinidad before time ran out. A story that can probably make you cry. Over $3 million compensation for a former prison inmate accused of killing a woman. We will let you hear from that woman's family. Very, very interesting development that may also tie in to some recent developments here in Grenada. So we thank you for joining us. Those of you who are here for the first time, we want to say thank you again. And don't make it be your first and your last. You must always, come and check us out, all right? This is news discussed, not told. We are happy to come to you tonight. The headlines was brought to you through the kind compliments of Nawasa and Digicel. When we return, it will be real news in audio Lily Lolo, so stay tuned.
We enjoy the luxury of a quality water supply, but it can come to this. Have adequate storage.
Grenada is the place to be June 5th to 7th for the highly anticipated Grenada Music Festival 2020, featuring two-time Grammy Award winners Kool and the Gang, Coco T, Romaine Virgo, Marcia Griffiths, Arturo Tappan, Crossfire, Nadia Batson, Was Ways, Vaughn, and the Dancehall Emperor, Chavo Ranks. 3 nights of amazing music, great food, and pure Grenada hospitality. Grenada Music Festival 2020, June 5th to 7th, Quarantine Park, Grenada. Tickets available online at gotofet.com. Book your flights at hotel today. This ad is sponsored by the Grenada Tourism Authority.
Golden Mass invites you to the launch of The Realm, home of the supreme gods and goddesses. Join us as we display our spectacular costume designs for Spice Mass 2020. March 7th, Spice Basket, featuring the best entertainers. Our ambassadors, Natty and Tunda, Jab King, Chaos and LED. Our hype masters for the night, Kevin Crown from New York, Select a Beast, and Smiley. Gates open at 9 p.m. Grab your tickets at Grenadian Optical, The Occasion, Big Barbershop, Double Up, and online at gotofed.com. Sponsored by Fast Cash, Swiftback, Body Image, Junction Bar and Grill, Monster, Jackpot City, Go to Fed, Party Grenada, and Boss FM. March 7th, Spice Basket. Welcome to the realm, to the realm, to the realm.
Grenada, all you think all you mad?
You think you're mad, we mad too. We madder than you.
Get ready for the maddest bingo ever as Megaforce Promotions presents the massive March Madness Bingo. Sunday, March 1st from 5 p.m. It's gonna be pure madness at the National Stadium because you can win 2 mint condition Toyota RAV4s.
Megaforce giving away RAV4 just so.
But wait, that's not all. You can also win $35,000 in cash.
No, that is real madness.
Tickets are only $60 for one, $100 for two. Remember, if you don't have a ticket, you don't have a chance to drive away in a RAV4 and $35,000 in cash at the massive Megaforce March Madness Bingo. Brought to you by Carol Glenell, GoToFed.com, Mikey Live, and Waggy T Rentals and Sound Company.
You think you're mad, we mad too. We madder than you.
I see trees of green
red roses too, I see them bloom
for me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
Why not stay in, turn off the alarm clock, and sleep some more on your perfect mattress from Quartz? For the widest range of mattresses from the world's best brands, the best value guaranteed. Shop today and let our sleep experts help you to decide on the best option to suit your needs. At Quartz, we don't just sell mattresses, we're offering you the best night's sleep. So, sleep in a little on your new mattress from Quartz. Quartz, bringing value home.
All right, folks, so we are here with you, and we would like to welcome you once more. The Inland Revenue Division is encouraging citizens of Carriacou and Petite Martinique to take advantage of its visit to the island next week. Officials will be there as of Monday through to Friday. A team from the IRD will be conducting an outreach office at the District Revenue Office in Hillsborough, where the general public will be able to, among other things, register businesses and file objections for property tax. Inhabitants can also obtain clarity of or information on any tax-related matter, including assistance with the completion of the tax return, and also tax advisory for business will also be conducted. Now, all residents, agents, and or representatives of properties on the sister isle of Carriacou and Petite Martinique that have to be assessed for transfer tax, you are also advised to contact the district office at 435-6945 or 435-6946. You may also call 435-1905 or email gndird@ird.gd. Regional first class cricket is coming again to Grenada, and you got to prepare yourself for that. This time it's early next month. Windward's Volcanoes will be taking on the Jamaican Scorpions from the 5th to the 8th at the National Cricket Stadium. Our Grenadian stalwart players will be there. All right, so we can look out for Devon Smith. All right, big up, big up, big up, big up. And when the Windward last played at the stadium here, Devon Smith and Kavim Hodge hit centuries to save the match on the final day against Guyana. Smith had 147 and Hodge 100 in Windward's second innings, total of 271 for 1. Now, the Ministry of Legal Affairs has given assurance that the registry of the Supreme Court will not be temporarily closed while problems with the current location are addressed. Now, the ministry has dismissed as false and misleading claims in recent reports of an imminent shutdown of the registry. Minister for Legal Affairs Honorable Kendra Mathurin Stewart said the report of an imminent closure or reports of imminent closure, it's completely untrue, and explained that what is happening is that staff and the registry functions are being relocated. She further stated that the acting registrar has been in communication with members of the Bar Association to keep them informed of all developments. The minister confirmed that temporary arrangements are in place to facilitate lodgement of deeds at the Parliament building effective Monday 2nd to Wednesday, March 11, 2020. All other operations will continue or remain at the Church Street compound until March 11, 2020. Thereafter, to facilitate continued access to information from Deeds and Land Registry, the registry together with the Ministry of Infrastructure will make arrangements for the remote connectivity or access to the existing services. Now, according to this report from the government, the entire operation of the registry will be relocated during the month of March to the second floor of the Coach J. McCormick building on Church Street, which also houses modern photo studio. Now, the relocation of the Supreme Court Registry has become necessary because the compound on Church Street that currently houses the main operations of the registry is in urgent need of repairs, and interventions will be planned and executed under the supervision of the Ministry of Infrastructure Development and Implementation. Now, in recognition of this, the government of Grenada over the last month, they say, began the process of planning the relocation of the operations of the registry. Now, the Minister of Legal Affairs reiterated that there are no plans to discontinue operations of the registry, and every effort will be made to ensure that the public is kept informed of the actions being taken. Earlier, so a nice piece of juicy news for earlier. Akim Andrew, aka Fake Doctor, is now semi-free. Now, we were telling you that the court, they were proceeding with caution the details of his sentencing, and so we have gotten an update on that. So Akim Andrew, 19 years old, of Loreto, St. John, he was given a suspended sentence for practicing medicine without a license, and on the charge of fraud by false pretense was sentenced to 100 hours of community service, and in default will serve 6 months in prison. This sentencing was handed down by Chief Magistrate Teddy St. Louis at the St. George's Magistrates Court today, Friday, 28th February 2020. Now, a suspended sentence is a legal term for a judge's delaying of a defendant's serving of a sentence after they have been found guilty in order to allow the defendant to perform a period of probation. If the defendant does not break the law during that period and fulfills the particular conditions of the probation, the judge usually dismisses the sentence. So, in other words, he'll be out. I think he's out already, right? And he'll be doing all the little community work or whatever he has to do, and so on and so forth. You understand? Ever since it came out, boy, people were really interested in knowing what kind of sentence Akim will get. So now all you know. 2 men jointly charged with trafficking in and importation of a controlled drug in connection with a drug bust in 2019, today, Friday, 28th February 2020, pleaded guilty at the Gove Magistrate Court. On the charge of trafficking of a controlled drug, Rylan Gunpot, 35 years, of Corinth, St. David, was fined $150,000 to be paid in 1 year, and in default, 4.5 years in prison. While on the charge of importation of a controlled drug, he was placed on bond with a suspended sentence of 3.5 years. If found guilty for any offense within that time, he will be sentenced to prison for 2 years. Michael Marast, 42 years, a mason of Upper St. John, St. Andrew, was fined $100,000 to be paid in 8 months, in default, 4 years imprisonment. On the charge of importation of a controlled drug, he was placed on bond with a suspended sentence of 2 years, and if found guilty for any offense within that time, imprisonment for 1 year. The drug bust occurred on April 3rd, 2019, when the officers attached to the drug squad intercepted a vehicle at the St. Peter's Street in Gulf, St. John, containing 12 nylon bags of cannabis, weighing approximately 573 pounds, worth an estimated street value of $1,299,564. Folks, we are moving on. How are we looking for time? Now, the next thing that we have to tell you, very interesting, the Ministry of Health today announced that it has raised its public health threat level, the alert level, to high. Orange high level means that very high possibility or expected, and the condition applies when a credible threat of increased infectious diseases, transmission of an unusual virus activity, spread, outbreak, etc., exists of disruptive public health activity or activities with a direct and specific threat against the health sector or country and its dependencies. Now, the decision was taken in accordance with the ministry's infectious disease public health threat level response protocols at the daily COVID-19 briefings with the health minister and Honorable Nicholas Steele and his team managing the current threat of the coronavirus. In taking the decision, the Ministry of Health considered the Caribbean Public Health Agency's CAFA Situation Report number 15, which concluded that the risk for the Caribbean is now moderate to high. Grenadian health authorities, keeping a very close eye on the outbreak of COVID-19, indicated that they are also tracking travelers from Japan, South Korea, Iran, Singapore, and Italy, which have seen steady increases in numbers in terms of confirmed COVID cases. Now, the Ministry of Health said it's presently monitoring the situation in the rest of Europe, the United States, North and South America, and any other foreign region where community transmission has been established. Now, Acting Chief Medical Officer Dr. Francis Martin told News that at this time all operations are being considered and the system is in full response mode. The ministry, acting on sound advice from its local, regional, and international public health experts, reminds the Grenadian public that its important transmission watch, its importation transmission watch, that's the ITW, remains in full effect for the entire Tri-Island state. Wow. Now, the Caribbean is on high alert for the deadly COVID-19 after the first case of the new coronavirus was confirmed in Latin America. On February 26, the Ministry of Health of Brazil confirmed the country's first case of COVID-19. The patient is a 61-year-old man who recently returned from Italy, where an outbreak of the virus has been ongoing since last week. The last diagnosis comes during the height of Brazil's week-long carnival, which attracts hundreds of thousands of tourists from around the world. Now, in a statement on Wednesday, the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, called on countries to intensify their plans to prepare and respond to COVID-19, given the appearance of cases of new coronavirus disease in the region of the Americas. I'm telling you, this is going to be rather interesting. This is going to be rather interesting. All right, folks. Let us continue. All right, I want to move on. I really want to move on from Corona. It gets me nervous. As of yesterday, Japan confirmed 894 cases, while Singapore recorded 96 cases. China, 78,514. South Korea, 1,766. Japan, 894. Iran, 139. Singapore, 96. Hong Kong, 92. The United States, 60. Germany, 41. Taiwan, 32. France, 28. Australia, 23. The UK, 16. Canada, 12. Greece, 3. And Russia, 2. Somebody was killed for going in public knowing that they were a carrier of the coronavirus. In fact, a North Korean man, he was shot dead after being suspected with coronavirus. That's reports coming from there. Now, the man is said to have returned to North Korea from the COVID-19 outbreak center in China. Reports indicate that the man insisted on going to a public bathroom even while he was under quarantine. It's reported that after this, the quarantined official was shot dead. He's accused of risking the spread of the viral disease in the country under what's said to be a new rule of the North Korean Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un. He vowed that anyone will leave the coronavirus quarantine process without, or anyone who leaves without any permission from any official will be ruled by military law. This means that they will be executed on the spot once they are caught. And so they did exactly that and executed the man. All right, Olia, I want to share a story with you that almost made me cry. I want to show you a picture. I'm gonna let you see that, and I'm gonna explain this to you. Let me just put that up for you again, and let me explain to you what this shot means. Picture tells 1,000 words. A smell of a decomposing human body is distinctive, musky, sharp, overwhelming, and you cannot miss it. And once you breathe in the smell of a decomposing body, you will not forget it. Okay? And so no one wants to experience that. A drowning victim in tropical Trinidad takes about 2 days to surface. By then, it is bloated and partly decomposed. A sight and smell that no one would forget. Now, CCN Trinidad multimedia editor Richard Charon says he knows this because after 2 decades as a journalist, he has been an unavoidable witness to and reporter of traumatic death and decay. Sharan said he expected no different an outcome on Carnival Tuesday when he joined the search of the wilderness and water courses around the home of 4-year-old Guysie Griffith. The child had walked away through an unlocked door from his grandmother's house at around 1:30 a.m. on Monday. No one could find him that day, and the search through the night turned up clueless. By Tuesday afternoon, most had conceded that any chance of finding that boy alive would be over that night. Now, several autistic and non-verbal, autistic and non-verbal Guysie had the mind of a child half his age. All right, so he had a mental problem. He could not help himself, said his family, and would not be able to respond to those shouting his name. So imagine, he's gone missing, people are searching for him, and because of his mental state, he will not be able to respond to people shouting his name. On 3 sides of his village were bushes, ponds, and a river running swift and deep. And the police search had ended. At least 6 officers had been deployed. A tracker dog was used as well. Helicopter crews searched on Monday and Tuesday, to no avail. A few neighbors helped, to no avail. They walked through fields of thick bushes and so on. They checked roadside drains and derelict cars spanning a kilometer radius of the home. Nothing. It turned out that the officers were searching the wrong area. The journalist said he arrived in the area at around 4 p.m. on Tuesday with a friend and some such volunteers. All right? There were no police officers and no one actively searching. Then came one simple clue that somewhat helped. A homeowner said his CCTV camera captured an image of children tottering around the road leading to some hills and some bushes, crops and forests. So the two, the journalist and another, began searching there. And when night fell, they didn't give up. They met the only other person still looking for that little boy, which was his neighbor, Conrad Rodney. Together, the three concentrated their search near the riverside, since many children with autism spectrum disorder are captivated by the sound and the sight of water. At around 6:35 p.m., when already fully dark, Rodney came upon the child. The child was discovered. He was lying in the mud in a fetal position inside of a concrete drain at the end of the river. Conscious, but severely dehydrated. He had spent 41 hours in that drain. Not even 5 meters from the nearest home. Yet, he was undetected. You know what 5 meters is? Take a little walk. Right there. From the nearest home. But the thing is, sometimes, when we hear people go missing and things like that, we think, okay, you had nothing to do with us. Oh, I live in all in Guelph, I didn't tongue, so we're not a bother. So an unsuspecting neighbor doesn't bother. Because, okay, he from down the road, he missing down the road, maybe he go down so. Only to find that this child that the world is, well, not the world, the nation is looking for, is in your backyard. Well, almost in the backyard, right? The drain there. The picture, look at this. Oh my God. Of a stranger rescuing a boy. Maybe motivated by the fact that he has a child himself or a nephew. Not giving up when everyone else has. After 41 hours, well, a child dead. Presumed dead until they find the body. These three men never gave up. A journalist, it's not his business, but he go anywhere. He bring his partner. And they find the neighbor searching, so three of them, they go on the search and they find the child. Somebody say, thank God. Everybody on the program say, thank you, God. And for all those who don't believe in a God, well, I don't know what else. If that don't make you believe in a God, I don't know what else will. You look at this picture, people. Look at it. And if that too doesn't motivate you to be your brother's keeper, because you never know. Somebody who you don't think you'll ever meet in your life again turns out to be the one who rescues your child. You understand? No. I say somebody say, thank you, God. We're moving on. You understand? We're moving on. I feel like I could go right now. My purpose is served. You understand? I feel like I've been in news all my life to just tell you this one story, and I'm good. We're moving on. We're moving on. And they cry. I don't lie. Big man is big man. And they cry. And if you look sharp, if I don't stop this story now, I might end up crying. 41 hours he spent there. They say within minutes, the child was being embraced by an incredulous mother who screamed, "Look, the child, thank you, Jesus." They say he was then taken to the Princestown District Hospital, where he was treated for cuts and bruises. You know? I'm a father of 3. I don't know the child, but the family lives in my village. I prayed and asked God to help. The Holy Spirit answered and led me to him. The rescuer. Those were the comments. Well, yeah. Anyway, let me go. Yeah? Let me tell you that. Hey, listen to this story. Yeah? This is another one. 2 siblings are highly upset, St. Lucia, over a recent court ruling which will compensate a man who they say brutally murdered their mother 25 years ago. Through some technicality in the law, the man was able to get off, and not just get off, people. Get off with compensation of over $3 million, St. Lucia.
On Wednesday, we reported on a landmark judgment which ordered that 2 men should receive significant compensation as their decades of incarceration were considered an infringement upon their personal liberty. One of those men was Anthony Henry, who, according to court documents, was arrested in September of 1995 for double murder. Henry remained incarcerated until 2019, despite being found unfit to plead in 2000. On Thursday, we received a call from Magdalene Ben, a woman who identified herself as the daughter of one of Henry's victims. Magdalene and her brother Marlon Ben say that in September 1995, their mother, Carmelite Ben, better known as Mary, was brutally murdered by Anthony Henry, who was known to them as Marcus. According to them, the mother of 5, who was in her late 20s at the time, was not known to be in any conflict with the alleged perpetrator.
When I came from school 3 o'clock, that is when my classmate told me, "Magdalene, Marcus just killed your mother." So I'm asking her, who Marcus? She said, "Marcus Villeta. Marcus Villeta." I said, "Girl, you're joking." By the time I start running, I see my father came. My father held me, and he said, "Relax, relax," and then dropped me a couple seconds, and then I went by the field. Saw my mom lying down like a frog on her head, on a frog in a pool of blood. You could actually see the baby was moving in her belly. You understand? Isn't that sad for everybody? Everybody who has a mother, who have kids, grandkids, auntie, nenen.
When I reached by the Ansari field, playing field, I saw Marcus and my mother back killing my mother. With a stone, actually hearing the stone pounding in my mother's head. And afterwards I see it my mother's brains. And today, Marcus free.
The High Court ruling states that Henry, who was diagnosed with multiple mental health conditions, should not have been detained in prison. It further notes that his detention, without periodic reviews of his fitness to stand trial, was in breach of his right to personal liberty. Carmelite Ben's children, however, are not pleased that Henry is set to be compensated.
Today, the law compensating Marcus $3 million. Like he just rewarding Marcus for killing my mother. I need justice. I need justice. If Marcus could get justice for what he did, I need justice for my mother's death and all those pains. How many years?
All Met doing that is just eating our tax money, including me, eating our tax money. And today he's out of prison, and you're compensating him $3 point how much $1,000 million? That is nonsense, my girl. That is nonsense. I am not supporting that. I disagreed with that.
At the time of their mother's death, Magdalene and Marlon Ben were aged 13 and 10 respectively. They say their mother's loss had a significant impact on their family.
I had to take care of my little sister. I was 10 years old. I had to take care of my little sister, my little brother. At 10 years old, it was very hard on me. Very, very hard. When you don't have a mother,
It's hard. It was really hard on you.
That's a really hard thing in life, you know.
All of us grew up together in that house. It was just my mother alone. She was our provider. What about her children, them who just there? They went through all the struggles up to a day like today. Up to a day like today, all of us separated. If my mother was there, maybe all of us would have been together. You understand? My mother always wanted all her children together in spite of the struggles she was going through. That's nonsense. That boy cannot be getting that kind of money.
For Choice News Now, Amani Matre reporting.
Yo. That one different, boy. That is a tough one. I have to say that. I don't know. Folks, that one tough. For those of you who have not yet done so, I'd like to encourage you to please share the program. When you share the program, that's how other people get to know that we are live. A lot of the stories that you hear on this program or see, you can check it out on our website. That's MikeyLive.com. That's MikeyLive.com. We take a break and return with a national report.
We enjoy the luxury of a quality water supply. But it can come to this. Have adequate storage.
Grenada is the place to be June 5th to 7th for the highly anticipated Grenada Music Festival 2020, featuring two-time Grammy Award winners, Kool and the Gang, Coco T, Romaine Virgo, Marcia Griffiths, Arturo Tappan, Crossfire, Nadia Batson, Was Ways, Vaughn, and the Dancehall Emperor, Chavo Ranks. 3 nights of amazing music, great food, and pure Grenada hospitality. Grenada Music Festival 2020, June 5th to 7th, Quarantine Park, Grenada. Tickets available online at gotofet.com. Book your flights at hotel today. This ad is sponsored by the Grenada Tourism Authority.
Grenada, all you think all you mad.
You think you're mad, we mad too. We madder than you.
Get ready for the maddest bingo ever as Megaforce Promotions presents the massive March Madness Bingo. Sunday, March 1st from 5 p.m. It's gonna be pure madness at the National Stadium because you can win 2 mint condition Toyota RAV4s. Megaforce giving away RAV4 just so. But wait, that's not all. You can also win $35,000 in cash. No, that is real madness. Tickets are only $60 for one, $100 for two. Remember, if you don't have a ticket, you don't have a chance to drive away in a RAV4 and $35,000 in cash at the massive Megaforce March Madness Bingo. Brought to you by Carol Glenell, GoToFed.com, Mikey Live, and Waggy T Rentals and Sound Company.
You think you're mad, we mad too. We madder than you. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
For me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
Why not stay in, turn off the alarm clock, and sleep some more on your perfect mattress from Quartz? For the widest range of mattresses from the world's best brands, the best value guaranteed. Shop today and let our sleep experts help you to decide on the best option to suit your needs. At Quartz, we don't just sell mattresses, we're offering you the best night's sleep. So, sleep in a little on your new mattress from Quartz. Quartz, bringing value home.
Yeah, that's right. And Quartz, they always bring you value home. It is now time for the National Report.
Grenada's COVID-19 public health threat level raised to high. We'll have details to this story and more in the national report. With the details to the news for Friday, February 28th, 2020, I am Rikisha St. Louis. The Ministry of Health has raised its public health threat alert level to high. Orange or high level means very high possibility expected, and this condition applies when a credible threat of increased infectious diseases exists of disruptive public health activity or activities with a direct or specific threat against the health sector or country and its dependencies. The decision was taken in accordance with the Ministry's Infectious Diseases Public Health Threat Level Response Protocols at the daily COVID-19 briefings, with the Health Minister Honorable Nicholas Steele and his team managing the current threat of the coronavirus. In taking the decision, the Ministry of Health considered the Caribbean Public Health Agency's CARPHA Situation Report number 15, which concluded that the risk for the Caribbean is now moderate to high. Grenadian health authorities, keeping a very close eye on the outbreak of COVID-19, indicated that they are also tracking travelers from Japan, South Korea, Iran, Singapore, and Italy, which have seen steady increases in the number of confirmed cases. The Ministry of Health said it is presently monitoring the situation in the rest of Europe, the United States, North and South America, and any other region where community transmission has been established. Acting Chief Medical Officer Dr. Francis Martin told the GIS that at this time, all options are being considered and the system is in full response mode. The ministry, acting on sound advice from its local, regional and international public health experts, would like to remind the general public that its importation transmission watch remains in full effect for the entire Tri-Island. In related news, the World Health Organization on Friday raised its global risk assessment of the new coronavirus to its highest level after the epidemic spread to sub-Saharan Africa. The virus has proliferated around the globe over the past week, emerging on every continent except Antarctica, prompting many governments and businesses to try to stop people traveling or gathering in crowded places. COVID-19 has killed more than 2,800 people and infected over 83,000 worldwide, the vast majority in China, since it emerged apparently from an animal market in a central Chinese city in late December. There are no confirmed cases in the Caribbean to date. Here at home, the Sustainable Development Council met with Acting Chief Medical Officer Dr. Francis Martin on Friday to discuss issues related to the virus. Spencer Thomas, chairman of the Sustainable Development Council, says while the internet is a good source of information, the information posted by some can be misleading.
The main goal is to really ventilate issues relating to the coronavirus. We found that there are many issues in the social media on coronavirus. There are a lot of statements all over the place, and we believe that it is important to hear from the professionals themselves. Hence, we invited Dr. Martin to be here to give us the real information on coronavirus.
He urges the general public to listen to the health officials.
Well, I think the issue here is that we need to, in terms of the coronavirus, what we're hearing from the practitioners at the moment is that we need to be very careful with this issue. It's a very difficult and dangerous situation, but that we need to listen to the professionals and not necessarily all of the issues that we're hearing in the social media.
Continuing with the news, the Ministry of Legal Affairs has given assurances that the registry of the Supreme Court will not be temporarily closed while problems with its current location are addressed. The ministry has dismissed as false and misleading claims in recent reports of an imminent shutdown of the registry. Minister for Legal Affairs Honorable Kendra Mathurin Stewart said the reports of an imminent closure are completely untrue, and explained that what is happening is that the staff and registry functions are being relocated. She further stated that the acting registrar has been in communication with the members of the Bar Association to keep them appraised of all the developments. The minister confirmed that temporary arrangements are in place to facilitate lodgement of deeds at the Parliament building effective Monday 2nd March to Wednesday 11th March 2020. All other operations will continue or remain at the Church Street compound until March 11th. Thereafter, to facilitate continued access to information from Deeds and Land Registry, the registry, together with the Ministry of Infrastructure, will make arrangements for remote connectivity or access to the existing servers. The entire operation of the registry will be relocated during the month of March to the second floor of the Coach J. McCormick building on Church Street, which also houses modern photo studios. The relocation of the Supreme Court Registry has become necessary because the compound on Church Street that currently houses the main operations of the registry is in urgent need of repairs, and interventions will be planned and executed under the supervision of the Ministry of Infrastructure Development and Implementation. In recognition of this, the government of Grenada over the last month began the process of planning the relocation of the operations of the registry. The Minister for Legal Affairs reiterated that there are no plans to discontinue operations of the registry, and every effort will be made to ensure that the public is kept informed of the actions being taken. This is the National Report. We'll have more news after the break. Welcome back. Grenada's permanent representative to the Organization of American States, Yolan Smith, has signed a $20 million disaster risk management development credit policy for Grenada with a deferred drawdown option for catastrophe risk, the CAT-DDO. The CAT-DDO provides Grenada with a contingent financing in case of natural disasters while supporting the country's reform program to build multi-sectoral resilience to disaster and climate risk. It was signed with World Bank Director Tassid Said and is the first CAT-DDO approved for the Latin America and the Caribbean region, financed by the International Development Association, IDA, the concessional financing arm of the World Bank. The line of credit is expected to strengthen the viability of Grenada's contingency financing arrangements in the event of a catastrophe triggered by natural hazards, including public health-related events. The credit facility will also support the efforts of the government to implement the recently approved disaster risk financing strategy, which was developed with World Bank technical support. Continuing with the news, the Ministry of Infrastructure Development and Implementation says rehabilitation work will begin on the Pearls Bridge on Monday. A contract for work to be undertaken was awarded in December. The material to commence work was received on Friday, 28th February. Work is expected to last 2 weeks, and the ministry is working towards opening the bridge on or before March 20th. Finally, in the news, officials of Spice Mass Corporation and the Ministry of Culture assured soca artists returning from Trinidad and Tobago that they are all winners. On Friday, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Culture, Desiree Stevens, and CEO of Spice Mass, Kelvin Jacobs, met the three Grenadian artists, Looney Spark and Electrify and Skinny Banton, upon arrival at the Morris Bishop International Airport following their participation in the 2020 International Soca Monarch in Trinidad. P.S. Stevens told the gathering during a short reception that Grenada is proud of their performances and will continue to support them as they keep the flag flying not only in the region but internationally.
Although we don't have the crown, in our books they are winners because they went out there and they truly represented Grenada soca, Grenada culture. on the regional scene, and it's something they continue to do. They fly that flag high wherever they go, and we are extremely proud of them for what they would have accomplished prior and during this season in Trinidad. So we want to welcome them back officially, let them know that we are extremely proud of their achievements and that we will continue to support them whenever they go out there to represent, because they're not doing it for themselves. They're representing Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique.
CEO Kelvin Jacobs encouraged them to not be daunted by the results of any competition. He explained that their presence and participation will take them further in the art form.
I was there in person to see you at the performance, and your performance was exceptional. The people who were around me, they looked at your performance and they were in awe at your performance. We know what the results turned out to be, but for me, I just want to tell you that you are bigger than the results. You are bigger than the judges who sit there and put a score next to your music. The people who are there, they knew what your worth is, and the people who are viewing and promoters, etc., they would see your music and they would value your worth, and it would take you further from Soca Monarch stage in Trinidad. So do not be despondent by the results. We know that you did very well, you did your best, and we are indeed proud of you.
The artist spoke about the experience in Trinidad and how they are gearing up for Spice Mass 2020.
Our third time, partaking, and we're so happy to represent Grenada to the fullest. We went out there, we do our best, and as you mentioned, we are winners in our own rights. Coming out of the competition, just the feedback from people in Trinidad, away from Trinidad, the diaspora, messages, DMs, we feel very happy to represent, and we went out there and we did our best to represent Grenada, represent ourselves, represent our brand. Skinny as well, did very well in the competition, and that for us is a win. We had to be prepared. You say be prepared for a disaster. We have to be prepared. The folks are coming. They want to see what we have to offer. They heard, never experienced the job, never experienced the vibes, the soca music, and it's infectious. So we just need to do what we need to do from now. We have the responsibilities to put great music out there. And the winners is here and the government to ensure that we put on a product that the world can talk about.
Representing Grenada and representing the people of Grenada, I was happy to know everybody was tuning. Well, not everybody, but majority of the people was tuning on all the live. I remember Carriacou having a live screen and all that different stuff. So it bring more motivation, it bring more vibes to continue going on and continue doing what is necessary. But I was happy to represent Grenada. Everything didn't play the way we expected and we wanted it to, but hopefully next time we live to fight another day.
That story just ended the national report for today, Friday, February 28th. Let's recap the top story. Grenada's COVID-19 public health threat level raised to high. On behalf of the entire news team here at the Government Information Service, I am Rikisha St. Louis saying thank you for joining us. Until next time.
Yes, Simon, I like that. So we live to fight another day, but we're not fighting over day. Yeah, that's how we go fight over here. So, yeah, thank you very much, guys. And I'm happy to see that, the guys received a really nice welcome. That's what they deserve, right? Let's take a look at the weather. Generally fair and breezy with the occasion now partly cloudy spells, and the maximum temperature today was 30.5 degrees Celsius and the minimum for tonight will be 24 degrees Celsius. Winds northeasterly to easterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Seas slight to moderate, waves 3 to 5 feet in open waters. There are no warnings out there. All right, so that's it for me and you for tonight. So we have a live at 4:30 tomorrow. It's another band launch. This one will be the Nirvana band. All right. So I want to encourage you to tune into our pages tomorrow, God's willing, where we're going to bring another live to you. This time it will be another band launch. All right. Shireen, blessings to you, Kireen, and Noreen, as well as Angel, Joyous, Camille, Zaka, and Rose, my mom, Lintona, Angel, Catherine, Cynthia, Kevin, Ventress, Eunice, Mount Carmel, and Joyous, Allah, and Rolanda, Doris, and Kathleen, Raybon, and Peter, and everyone else who's currently on the program. Wendy Ann, thank you for joining us. God bless you and your family. Charlene, all right, and Glenda. Ruth, I see that you're there, Ruth. Trevelyn, did I say Trevelyn? All right, big up everyone, man. Big up, Osric, and may God bless everyone. So we're going to touch base tomorrow, God's willing. Please keep your comments short and sweet. Y'all trying to put me out of business. Sometimes, even when you're tempted to say something negative, ask yourself to what end, yeah? Y'all don't put me out of business, all right? When you look at the live, I'm not saying that you cannot comment and so on, but let's try to respect. Let our respect for the effort be what drives our interaction rather than negatives that we see during the process. All right? God bless you and your family. We're going to touch base tomorrow. Remember, keep your words soft and sweet. God bless you. Have yourselves a good one. Let's do this in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we all say, Ja! No! Take care. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.